What do you hear? What do you say?
Oh, G Funky Boxing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Guys, it is actually time. We got a fight. The fighters just weighed in. They both have come in and made weight. We got ourselves a fight. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Woo! I'm pumped up, man. It's been 5 years that we've been waiting for this fight. The build-up. Man, and I've been here on YouTube the whole entire time, guys. Just like when the Pacquiao and Mayweather thing started back way back. Okay. I was here for that too. Now, this obviously is not as big as Pacquiao and Mayweather, or Mayweather Pacquiao, however you want to say it. But it's still a big fight. It's for undisputed at 147 pounds. Errol the True Spence Jr. versus Terence Bud Crawford. Fotex, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here, man. We're going to get into this thing, man. I've been waiting a long time to break this thing down. Okay. Some of you who have been subscribed to me for a while, you might already know who I have winning this fight. You might not know why I have him winning. But if you're new to the channel, you might not know. So sit back, relax. I'm going to go over some film, and then the phone lines will open up, guys. Okay. There are fights coming on in 30 minutes on ESPN Plus. My man Xavier Martinez from Sacramento, California, is be fighting on the co-feature tonight under the Sinisa Estrada undercard. So yes, we finish that up, and then we go watch the fights. So, and then tomorrow we got the big one, guys. All right. And I'm ready to break this thing down. How about you guys? All right. So while we're doing this, let me know in the chat who you got. Put it down there. Get on record. Let's put it on record. Okay. Put it in the chat. Who you got winning this undisputed welterweight fight tomorrow night, guys. All right. So let's do records. Tail of the tape. First, the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Terence Bud Crawford. His record is at 39 wins, no losses, no draws, with 30 KOs. He is 35 years of age, stands at 5'8", 74-inch reach. He is listed as a southpaw here on BoxRec, but we know he can switch back and forth, and it is just a thing of beauty the way he does it, okay? And as for the WBC, WBA, and IBF welterweight champion, unified welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr., the truth. His record, 28 wins, no losses, no draws, with 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. Age 33, 5'9.5", 72-inch reach, and he is a southpaw. We all know that. My man DJ Mexicano de Tejas says, I'm excited. Bud versus Spence, absolutely. Fotex is on record now. He says, Bud, 9th round stoppage. I like it. I like it, man. Again, guys, put it down there in the chat. I want to know. All right, who you guys got. So, interesting matchup. Again, technically, it is an open stance fight, although we know Crawford is going to close the stance and go southpaw at some point. It's just a matter of when he's going to do it. So let's get into this thing, guys. All right. Like I said, with Terence Crawford, can switch from orthodox to southpaw. He's been fighting a majority of the time. A majority of his fights have been in the southpaw stance. And, you know, he's very good at it, man. He's not like a lot of these guys. A lot of guys like to switch from orthodox to southpaw these days, but none of them are not even as close, as effective as Terence Bud Crawford is. None of them are. His defense is good. Hand and foot speed is great. Lateral movement around the ring. Crawford is he's just a really good fighter, man. He is a magician in there when you watch him fight. And as far as Earl the True Spence goes, Spence is a dog, man. And not that Crawford's not a dog. He's a dog as well. But we know that Spence is going to come get it. He's going to have to come forward and apply the pressure, work behind that good jab he's got. And he's got a damn good jab, guys. You know, I've been telling you that for a while here, that I think Spence has got one of the best jabs in the game. Not because it's the fastest or anything like that. I think people kind of look at hand speed and think, oh, his jab ain't that fast. Well, no, his jab is strong and it finds a target often. He sets up all his offense behind it. And, you know, I'm going to show you exactly how he does it when we start breaking down some film here. But yeah, very tough, throws a lot of punches, very good body puncher as well on the inside. And he's a damn good fighter on the inside. Very well balanced, fights behind a high guard. You know, he's flat-footed often, you know, so he can generate that good power. So yeah, Spence, damn good fighter, man. So this is a fantastic matchup. And this is exactly why so many of us hardcore fans have been waiting for this fight for so long. I never thought it was going to happen, to be quite honest with you. But we're finally here, man. We are one sleep away from this fight happening, guys. And I can't wait, man. So let's go ahead and let's look at some stuff here, man. All right. Let's start with Spence. I want to start with Spence. And look, the last time that Spence fought a southpaw, man, it has been a long time, guys. Okay. I'm going to show you right now. You're going to see when the last time he was in the ring with a southpaw. And here it is right here. All right. Now, again, this is a young Spence right here. Okay. This fight was in 2015 against Chris Van Heerden. Almost 8 years ago, guys, since since Spence has been in with a southpaw. Jay Rodriguez, what's going on? Javier. Yes, good times to be a boxing fan. That's right, man. Guys, let me know who you got, okay? We're gonna do some film study real quick, and then the phone lines will be open. I want to hear from you guys, man. I want to know how excited you guys are. I want to know who you got. All right. But let's start off right here. Again, it's been 8 years since Spence has fought a southpaw. That's a long time, okay? So we're gonna see just how well he did against that southpaw. Okay. Now he did get the stoppage here in 7 rounds, I believe, 7 or 8 rounds. He stopped Van Heerden here. But the one thing again I told you guys is that Spence, that he's got a damn good jab, right? And I love the way he sets it up because, and this is what makes it so good, is that he uses his feet very well to get into position, to get into range, to shoot that pole-like jab that he's got. And You don't see it. It's not very well. It's not very telegraphed at all, and that's why I like it. Miss Denise Wards is here. She says, "My concern is that Bud gets hit too much for my liking." Yes, we're going to talk about Terence Crawford as well. We're starting off with my man Errol Spence. So I want you guys in this clip here. I want you to pay attention to the feet. Okay, now let's play it. Look at where his feet are on the mat. You can see those letters. Just look at the way that he moves his feet to get into position. You see, just a little bit forward, right here. He kind of leans back from a feint, right? And then look at this. Boom! Lands that hard, stiff jab. And it again, just it's hard to stop, man, because he does such a good job of getting in position with that lead foot of his to slam you with that jab that he has. Um, Very good, man. Very good jab that he's got. Now, here's another example of him working behind the jab. We see him, right, shoot to the guard, and then boom, left hand goes right through the the guard of Van Heerden right here. And again, you look at Spence's feet, got both feet down, got good torque, twist those hips behind that left hand. That was a nice left hand that he landed right there. Let's see. Javier Logan says Crawford for KO or TKO in 9/11, but personally, I believe it will be the 10th. Okay, got you, got you. Now, here's the problem that I see with Spence is again, like I told you, he is pretty much a flat-footed fighter, right? So when he attacks, he goes in on a line and out on a line most of the time. He doesn't really use a lot of lateral movement around the ring. And we're going to see an example of that here. Now, when he avoids attacks, right? This is just after he landed that left. You follow him out. Van Heerden follows him out, and look at, hits him with a left, and it landed right on the chin. And again, it's because he's backing straight out, right? Not circling out away from the attack. So, and here's another example of Spence being pushed back. He's not the same guy when he gets pushed back, and I think that's how Sean Porter had a lot of success in their fight. Porter was able to push him back. And again, like I said, he often goes straight in and straight out. Not very good laterally. So check this out. A little bit of lateral movement here, but look at his feet crossing. And then Van Heerden again, boom, lands another left hand right on the target. Spence took it well, but again, if you look at his feet, right, not in the best position there, guys. So he's lucky he didn't go down, and not because he was hurt or anything, but just the balance. So again, his feet aren't the fastest, but he is very well balanced and knows how to get uh good leverage into those punches when he is in the correct position. But backing up is not his main thing. But again, here's another jab. We see him landing double jab actually. Boom, lands the left hand behind it. And again, nice, again, sitting down on those shots. And look, you can see that buckled the knees of Van Heerden there. Breaking news. What is this? Caleb Plant just punched Charlo in the mouth. Which Charlo? Big Charlo or little Charlo? Anyways, wow, that's crazy. But anyways, yeah, you see that left hand really did some damage there. And this is early on. This is round 2, guys. So, Crawford, I mean, not Crawford, Spence already is getting to Van Heerden and working behind the jab. He's already applying a lot of pressure. Van Heerden was doing some moving in this fight. So, again, we're going to see him. Again, everything is coming off the jab. There you go. Split the guard right there. Boom. Hooks to the body. Brilliant body puncher is Spence. He's brilliant in there. Once again, jabs to the gut. Now, this is where he really started to slow down Van Heerden. Those jabs to the gut were just, I mean, man, brutal. There's another one right there. He's already setting the table again for, to slow his opponent down, to get him to stand right there so he can tee off. What's going on, Iceman? Thanks for being here, brother. We're going to see some more here. Got Van Heerden against the ropes. Jab to the stomach again. Now look at this uppercut. Now he's going to start going to work. Another jab. Kind of a frame job right there. Boom. Big left hand. Another jab to the gut. Another hook to the body. I mean, he is killing it by another uppercut lands. That was a phenomenal combination there from Errol Spence. And again, going to the body, jabbing to the body. Tremendous jab this guy's got. Here we're going to see him attack. Use a little pendulum step. You see the little pendulum there. And then he gets himself into range. Oh, Straight left hand to the body, splits the guard with the right, splits the guard with the left, another right around the guard, goes to the body. I mean, this is when Spence is just at his best. Right here at mid range or on the inside, he is just a handful, man. Oh, what happened here? Was that it? Sorry, guys. Let me see him check in. Sometimes StreamYard can act up on you, but I think that might have been it. Yeah, because the fight ended pretty much. I think the next round he had dropped Van Heerden a couple times, and then the fight was over. But you guys see what I mean, man? The way he works behind his jab, his footwork. Again, not the best when he has to go backwards or move laterally. Um, Defensively, I'll say, well, we'll get into that here in a minute. But let me remove this real quick. And I want to show some clips from Ugas as well, because again, um, Crawford is an orthodox fighter, so he can fight him in the orthodox stance if he wants to, right? I suspect he won't, but if he chooses to, again, we have to look at his last opponent that he fought that was an orthodox fighter, and that was Yordenis Ugas, right? So here again, we're going to see Spence attacking. Now, like I told you, the jab is key with him. So again, we still see him jabbing. All these years later, we still see him working behind the jab. Now, right there, he sneaks in a nice jab to the body of Ugas. And like I told you, he back straight up. So here we show him a little long guard defense from Spence, but because he's not the quickest on his feet and he goes back in a straight line, he gets hit with a right hand to the body right there. And we know right hands are good punches to throw against a southpaw. So again, still backing straight up, just like he was in the Van Heerden fight 8 years prior to this. Here we're going to see him again work behind the jab. This time, hit the guard. Now here's a problem that I see a lot in this fight here in particular, more than any fight that I looked at. And again, I've watched Spence for a long time, but here I talk to you guys about this often. When guys throw their backhand, right? Sometimes that foot comes off the ground. Now, look, it's okay if it comes off for a brief second, but there's times where guys get too front foot heavy and then you find yourself in really bad trouble. So now we see Ugas avoiding this big shot from the left hand. And look at Spence's position there, guys. Let me move that back just a bit. Right there. Look at where his head is and where his lead foot is. He's got his head, he's got all his weight on that front foot. So again, he's not in a very good position. He's in a vulnerable position here. And that's exactly why you see Ugas right here is going to hit him with a body shot, because look at his feet now. He's completely squared up because that back foot came off of the ground. And Ugas took advantage of it. Guys, I think that's going to be a big problem with Terence Crawford. If he does this, it's going to be a big problem, guys. So let's continue. Here again, we're going to see another example of that. Look at the back foot. Spence kind of telegraphing this left. You see Ugas get underneath it. And again, look where that foot almost, swings all the way forward. And again, just imagine Terence Crawford right there, guys. Just imagine Terence Crawford with Errol Spence in that position, guys. He's going to take advantage of that every time. He's got much faster feet than Ugas, faster hands. Ugas is a good counterpuncher, and he did take advantage of a lot of these moments in this fight. So let's go ahead and watch some more here. We'll see again. This is leading with that left. Again, all that weight on the front foot. Look at his position, guys. That's not good, and he gets smacked for it by Ugas. One more time, the back foot. Look at his position, man. He's almost like stumbling in at times when I was watching this fight. Look at that. Oh, you can't get out of position. His feet are too slow. Now here is one of the this right here is, I noticed, I was like, holy crap. He gets way heavy on the front foot right here, and Ugas actually lands a good combination. Look at this. Gets out of the way of that left. Now look at Spence's rear leg again. Look at that thing. It's all the way off the ground. He's almost like spinning on his front foot. Gets hit with a left. Gets hit with another left. Gets hit with a right. Clean right on the fucking face right there. And again, look at his feet. He's completely squared up. He's lucky he didn't go down right there, because that's a position you definitely don't want to get hit with a sharp shooter like Terence Crawford. I mean, again, guys, imagine Crawford right here in these positions. So, I see Spence, if he doesn't correct that right there, man, boy, he is going to have a long night, I think. He is going to have a real long night, guys. You cannot make those kind of mistakes with a guy who's got quicker hands and feet, good counterpuncher. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him to overcome that, because again, the feet don't um aren't as fast as Crawford's. So let's look at Crawford now. Okay. We're gonna look at when the last time that Crawford took on a southpaw, right? So we're not gonna look at Avanesyan, right? Because that was his previous opponent, because Avanesyan is not a southpaw. We're going to look at the last time that he fought a southpaw was Felix Diaz back in 2017. So it's been quite a long time for Crawford as well. 6 years now since he's been in with a true southpaw. So let's find these sequences that I got for you guys. Okay, why am I not finding it? All right, I got it. Okay, so here's from 6 years ago. I think we see the old HBO graphics on the screen. Man, HBO was something else, wasn't it, guys? But here we're going to see Crawford now. Look at the time in this round. This is just under 30 seconds in the first round. He's already switched to southpaw. So he's been doing that a lot recently. He doesn't take too long to switch to southpaw. And I just predict this, but I predict he's probably going to fight a majority of the fight in the close stance with Spence, because again, it has been a long time since Spence has fought a southpaw. So here with Diaz, we're going to see Crawford really establish distance with his jab. Now he switched it up, a lot of touching jabs, hard jabs, just to keep Diaz where he wants him. And again, we're going to see some examples of that here early on. You see, boom, shoots the jab right there, right off the head. You see him just touching the guard, touch the guard, and then, oh, nice left hand. And again, look at nice fundamentals, footwork, feet on the ground. You don't see guys that switch to southpaw today, not named Terence Crawford, fight this way behind the southpaw stance. You just don't. I mean, he really is in a league of his own when it comes to switching stances, guys. Now, look, even get out. Again, this is what I mean. You see, he avoided that big left hook from Diaz. Just, half step back out of the way. And again, footwork. He's right there, right in proper position to punch. Now, here's what I want to show you. Here's something that a lot of Spence's opponents haven't done, at least that I've noticed, right? I want you to look at how active Terence Crawford's guard is, right? We're going to see him switch guards. We're going to see him get off the line, on the line. Right here, he's in kind of like a Philly shell kind of like stance. And again, look, we see him move his head off the line, get back on the line. Move his head off the line. High guard, mirror the high guard. Again, active guard. And then look at, boom, counter shot. And he's out of there. Again, just always giving you different. That's why he's so difficult to fight. He is constantly giving you different looks, man. Here again, nice jab. Goes around the guard with it, and he's just touching. And again, look at this. Avoids the attack. Great lateral movement from Crawford. Again, working off the jab. Now here, look. Actually gets caught. Boom. From Felix Diaz. And that's one thing with when you start touching jabs like that, the little touch, 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 and then try to shoot something hard. It can be timed, man, and that's exactly what happened here in this sequence. We see him just kind of touching pawn with that lead hand, and then Diaz said, "Enough of this crap. I'm just going to go over the top." But look at this, boom. I mean, these again. Look at that straight left hand right on the button. Like, we don't see guys that fight that switch stances do these kind of things that Crawford is doing right here. I mean, just look at that. Boom. Beautiful. Out of range. Again. Boom. Another straight left hand. Here, we're going to see him get chased out. Diaz applying a lot of pressure. And again, moving out with his hands down. Oh, he gets clipped with a left hook right there. And that's something that I noticed. And shout out to Denise Ward's up there where she talked about Crawford getting touched up. Yeah, he does. He gets hit. Every fighter gets hit, man. I know there's some channels out there that might tell you different, but no, that's not reality, man. So again, there are times where he's moving around and he's got his hands down, and he can pay he'll pay the price for that. City UK says, why was Isak Cruz team flashing some fake belts at the weigh-in? These games are getting annoying. I have no idea. I have no clue. But back to this here again. Back on the jab is Crawford. Double up. Nice left uppercut right there. He landed a lot of left uppercuts through that high guard defense. And again, Spence fights behind a high guard defense. He could be finding those holes, man. Now look at this. Another one. Oh, right on the money, right through that guard. And look, avoids a big right hook from Diaz. And again, Diaz charging in, throws a right hook and eats a straight left counter, right hook. And again, Crawford avoids the attack. I mean, he is just really just so fast and in and out on you. Look at another boom. I mean, guys, look at that. And he's fighting out of the left-handed stance. And look, just standing right there, lure him in, boom. Drops it on him, and then he's out of there. So here's the sequence here, guys, that I really want to emphasize. All right. So let me move it back a little bit. Remember, as I was telling you guys when we were watching the Ugas clips that sometimes Spence gets caught on the left foot when he's coming in on his attack. He gets caught on the front foot, and that's not where you want to be against a good counterpuncher who can step back and counter you. We're going to see an example of that here. Diaz coming in behind the jab, right, attacking now. Look at that, his position right there. He's on that front foot, just like Spence gets caught on the front foot, and look what Crawford does. Bam, makes him pay. Boom, another shot right there, and then he gets out of there. So I see that happening a lot, man. If Spence is going to come in like that, I see that happening an awful lot, man. I really do. It's going to be tough for Spence. Here I want to show some inside fighting because, again, I think he is the better fighter on the inside of the two. So we're gonna look here at Crawford on the inside with Diaz. Now at this point, I feel like he's already got the fight won, but he's getting touched up here. Rolls a little bit with that hook. Now you see some wrestling there on the inside. Diaz landing some body shots there. Lands one low, which, hey, sometimes that happens. And nice left hook right there. Crawford comes back with an uppercut. So, a lot of defense, a lot of wrestling, a lot of clinching on the inside there from Crawford. I don't think he's going to want to spend much time in there with Spence. Like I said, I think he is the better fighter inside. Now here we're going to see Crawford actually get some shit done here. You see the body shot, left hook, right hook, left to the body. I mean, he can fight too on the inside. Don't get me wrong, but definitely not the place that he wants to be for the most part in this fight tomorrow night, guys, because Spence gets a lot of work done in there, man. And he always seems to get the better of his opponents on the inside, So let me go ahead, man, and open up the phone lines, man. If any of you guys want to call in, I'm going to give you my prediction. And again, for those of you who have been here for a long time, you already know who I've been saying is going to win this fight if and when it happens. But I just think that again, the foot speed and the hand speed, the ability to switch stances for Terrence Bud Crawford, um, it's going to be tough for Spence. You know, he's very lineal in his attack, comes in and out on a straight line. Sometimes he gets caught on that front foot, and I think every time he does, he's gonna pay for it, man. I think he's gonna pay for it. Um, I do think because he's in such good shape all the time, uh, that he's gonna be in the fight. I think he's gonna be losing rounds. I think he is gonna be in the fight though, but I feel like Crawford, again, he's just gonna be just so sharp, and he's gonna capitalize on those mistakes, man, that Spence makes. Spence, again, he's just got to work behind that jab, man. But I think Crawford, I think he's just going to be too quick, man. Spence he puts himself in vulnerable positions often when he's fighting. And the guys, again, quite honestly, the guys that he's fought, they just haven't had the kind of style to really make him pay for it. And again, we saw in his last fight with Yordenis Ugas, he took advantage of that a lot in that fight. you know. But he's not the most he doesn't move a lot in the ring. He's almost like Spence in a way. In and out, straight line, fights behind the high guard, just like Spence. And again, he's a natural counterpuncher, but he's not, overly defensive, doesn't move a lot. But he took advantage of a lot of those mistakes that Spence made. Unfortunately for him, he got caught, got his eye busted, and when that happens, you could either continue and ruin your eye for the rest of your career, or you can just call it a night. That's really that's really up to you at the end of the day what you want to do. But Ugas, again, it was a competitive fight up until he got his eye busted, man. He took advantage of a lot of those opportunities. I think Crawford is going to do a better job of doing that against Spence, and I think he's going to get the win. I think it's going to be an 8-4 decision, I believe. What's going on, Los Tres Chingones? Appreciate you being here, man. Guys, hit the like button for me, all right? I know a lot of you guys are probably still at work right now. It's a little bit early. I got to get this thing in. All right, I've been so busy. I'm having a fight party here tomorrow. I was cleaning up my backyard. It was hot out there. By the time I got done, I came in just in time to see the weigh-ins. And now we're here doing the predictions. So if anybody wants to call in, man, if not, no worries. Let me know in the chat who you got. But I think Terence Crawford's going to win this thing, man. I think his step back counter ability, foot movement, ability to change looks, I think it's going to be just a little too much, man. He does all those things very well. It's not like a lot of these guys that in today's world, they switch stance and then they just don't look the same. I mean, he gets better. Crawford actually gets better when he switches stance. So it's going to be a tough night for him to catch up to Crawford. Not that it can't be done. I mean, we've seen pressure fighters get to guys who are more athletic, move around the ring a little bit more, faster hands. I mean, we've seen it. So it's not crazy to think that Spence would win. And my man Iceman here says draw or Spence. What are the chances that it ends in a draw? I don't think it ends in a draw, to be quite honest with you, man. The judges, let me look. I have a picture here that I took from Twitter. Somebody in the media, Keith Eidick, put out that the Nevada Commission just approved Tim Cheatham, David Sutherland, and Steve Weisfeld as the judges for this fight. Now, those guys have been getting the big assignments pretty consistently in Vegas. Harvey Dock is going to be the referee, so I don't anticipate a lot of clinching or holding from either guy. And again, neither guy really does that too often. So I think Harvey Dock is a really good referee. I do. But Sutherland scored the George Kambosos Maxie Hughes fight recently. He scored it a draw. And he also had Haney winning over Loma 115-113. So those are some of his recent big assignments. Um, Look, I feel like Maxie Hughes was the clear winner in that fight. I mean, I think if you're being very generous, and I mean very generous, you could maybe find 6 rounds for Kambosos in that fight. But I only gave him 4. I felt like it was an 8-4 win uh for Maxie Hughes. And again, if you're being generous, yes, you can probably score it 6-6, but not on my scorecard. So I don't think that that's completely outrageous. Just like I don't think it's completely outrageous to score 7-5 in favor of Haney over Lomachenko. I feel like that was a close fight. It could have went either way. So I'm not worried about him. But I feel like all 3 judges are going to have scorecards very similar, man. That's what I think. Let's read some comments. The GOAT Mario P says this fight might not go past 8 rounds if they are razor sharp tomorrow, like they say they will be. Devastating stuff will be landing early. I think so too, man. Iceman said, yeah, they do have a rematch clause. Spence had said that he's not going to fight again at 147. This is it for him. He is done with welterweight. And, apparently he's been killing himself. And we all know he's a big guy, So City UK says Crawford's accuracy and footwork, plus the fact he has gears compared to Spence, singular pace, make me give Bud the edge. Otherwise, it's a very close fight. I pretty much agree with you, man. I pretty much agree with you. Let's see. Oh yeah, Al's Ghost. What's up, man? He says Bud by late stoppage. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people thinking that Crawford's going to stop him late. I don't know, man. I don't feel like Spence will. I don't know. I've only seen him hurt a couple times in his career, but we'll see, man. We'll see what happened. Joe thinks that there's no corruption in boxing. We talked about that. I mean, I'll say this, man. I had to get a drink of water. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I've been outside all day cleaning my backyard, so I'm hot, trying to get rehydrated. Um, I always tell you guys this: if fans make claims about things happening in the sport, then I need proof, man. We can't just go off of bad scoring that, oh, it's corrupt, We gotta we gotta have some proof, man. Just like with the Glovegate thing, Let's see. Do we see a knockdown? I honestly do think we can see a knockdown, man. And I think it's because I don't know if you're watching those clips earlier, Los Tres Chingones, but I was showing how Spence getting very heavy on the front foot um, while he's trying to land his power shot, his rear hand, and he often is on one leg. And Devin Haney does that often too, and that's why I was thinking, man, Loma could possibly get a knockdown. I think the difference with Devin Haney doing it and Errol Spence doing it is that Haney's much faster on his feet than Spence. Spence, not the fastest guy. He's got heavy feet. So when he gets caught on that front foot, it's very hard for him to get back in position. Ugas capitalized on that a lot in their last fight. It was funny if you noticed when I showed the Spence clips against Van Heerden 8 years ago, which was the last southpaw that he fought. I didn't do that often. I watched the whole thing and I was like, I don't really see that often. That's kind of a new thing with Spence. He was very well planted, had his feet down very well when he was attacking. I didn't really see him doing that a lot in that fight. That's something that he's kind of developed recently. So I think there is a possibility because if Ugas can make him pay, and he did make him pay a lot in that fight, Crawford going to make him pay every time I think he does it. I think he's just faster, he's sharper than Ugas. And I think he's going to get the job done, man. And it's going to be crazy, man. If he wins, he's going to be 2-time undisputed, man. Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. You say, I got Crawford. He's got much better footwork. Yes, he does. He does. And not that Spence has bad footwork. It's just his feet are just much slower than Errol Spence. I'm sorry, than Crawford. He's very technically sound. Like I said, one foot in front of the other. He's not bladed. Like a lot of guys, like especially southpaws, I notice a lot of them like to stand very bladed, which is almost like sideways, like a fencer. Obviously trying to make themselves a smaller target. No, he doesn't stand that way. He's very, very fundamental, and that's a good thing, man. That's a very good thing to fight that way. But again, when you're in there with a guy who can show you so many different looks, and again, I showed you guys, not only does he switch stances, but we see him often moving his head off the line, on the line, off the line, switching his guard, high guard, Philly shell, kind of shoulder roll, very active guard. I mean, you got a lot to deal with. Now, the hand speed is something that, can be nullified, obviously, with a good jab, you know? And Spence has a damn good jab. I think he's got one of the best jabs in boxing. If you guys remember, some of you might not go back this far if you're watching live or if you're watching when this is over. But when Vernon Forrest fought Shane Mosley for the first time professionally, right? Because they had already fought. Forrest had beat him in the Olympic trials. But he really beat the shit out of Mosley in that first fight. And he really nullified the explosiveness and the speed of Shane Mosley with that long pole-like jab that he has. And he said that, I remember him saying that because this is around the time that my buddies were training. They were, amateurs. They were training to become professionals. So we were watching every single fight. And I just remember hearing Vernon Forrest say, if you fight a fighter with tremendous speed, use your jab. Use that jab, and it nullifies the hand speed of your opponent. And Spence has the ability to do that, man, with his jab. He's got a fucking good jab. Hard, stiff jab, not telegraphed at all. I mean, ask Mikey Garcia how that jab felt. He had a steady diet all night long in their fight. And again, he's a guy that moved up from the lower weight classes, so he's used to seeing guys that are much faster than Errol Spence, and he wasn't able to get out of the way of that jab. It's a good jab. Mad Dog H, what's up, man? Let me know who you got, guys. If you haven't told me already, I'm picking Crawford by unanimous decision. I think it's going to be somewhere around an 8-4 contest. Yeah, you got to go set up for your show. Hey, guys, check out my guys after here, man. I'm going to be ending the show here probably in about 5 minutes or so. My man here, Los Tres Chingones, he's going to be going live at the top of the hour. So shoot on over to his channel, guys, and subscribe, okay? Good channel. Those are my buddies over there. They do good work. But thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. So, yeah, he could nullify some of that speed. But I just feel like Spence not fighting a southpaw in so long, it could affect him, man. And again, if you go back and watch the Van Heerden fight, if you got time tonight, check it out. Just check it out. Early on, the little bit of movement, the jab, it was giving Spence some trouble, man. But eventually, he got to him. He got to him. Mad Dog H says he's got Crawford. All right, we only got one person so far picking Errol Spence in the chat, and that's my man Iceman. Yeah, I mean, look, I see a lot of people online picking Spence. He's got a lot of fans, man. He's got a lot of hardcore fans too. So not surprised. It was a good turnout there, man. I really love the way that PBC is promoting this fight, especially with this week. They had Mike Tyson there to do the coin flip between the two. Anytime Mike Tyson is involved in something, guys, people are going to watch, right? If Tyson, someone's, oh, Tyson is, he's at the fight right now. They share it on social media. Like, people are like, yeah, I'm going to watch Mike Tyson. Tyson to this day is still a fucking rock star, man. People still love him. And again, for good reason, man. He was entertaining as hell when he was a fighter. So I love the fact that they had him here. They had him there just right now at the weigh-in. And Evander Holyfield was there. So, yeah, they're bringing out some big names, man, to really get fans, more casual fans excited to possibly buy this pay-per-view. And guys, buy the pay-per-view, man. Don't do the Fire Stick thing. Get yourself, get yourself some friends to come over, watch the fight. That's what I'm doing tomorrow, I'm going to be hanging out with my family and friends by the pool. We're going to be having some food, some drinks, and we're going to enjoy this fight, man. You know, support the fights that we want, man. And this is a fight that we've been asking for. Have I gotten frustrated over the years with it? Absolutely, I have. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, man, fuck this fight. These guys are never going to fight. I mean, geez, 5 years, guys, you know? So, yeah, there was times I wanted to throw it away in the trash, but guess what? It's here. It's finally here. It's going to happen. So now that it's here, support it, man. If you guys want the fights that you want, you got to show these promoters that you're willing to buy the fights that the fans want. I know for the last couple of years, PBC has been putting on some shit fucking pay-per-views, right? Expecting us to pay for, Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin, Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, Wilder versus Hellenius. These are terrible pay-per-views, guys. Terrible. But they've made 3 fights that fans have really wanted this year, right? Starting off with Benavidez and Plant. Then we know a lot of casual interest for the Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, and that did tremendous numbers. Now they're giving us Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, which is a fight that we wanted for a long time. So we got to do what we got to do, man. Support these fights that we've been asking for. This way, they have no problem giving it to us, man. And again, if it's too rich for your blood, man, hey, fight party. I know that there's some restaurants and bars that might be, they might charge you a cover, maybe $10 or so to get in and watch the fight. Hey, man, go out and hang out with some people watching, man. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think this is going to be competitive, even though I think Crawford's going to win at least 8 rounds. But I think there's going to be clear winners of these rounds, and I think it's going to be Crawford. But Spence is a guy that I just don't see him giving up, not trying to come forward, not trying to press the action, not trying to apply that pressure up until the last bell. So I anticipate a really good fight, guys. But I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Again, check out my guys, Los Tres Chingones, who was just here. They're going to be live at the top of the hour. There's also fights on ESPN. I'm going to check out my boy Xavier Martinez, or Xavier Martinez, excuse me. He's the co-main event tonight on that ESPN card. So I'm going to get myself some dinner, enjoy the fights. And one more thing before I go, guys. Hopefully you guys stuck around, and also those of you who are going to watch this once it's over. We were supposed to have that Sugar Hill interview on Warweek Radio's channel this afternoon. He got caught up with travel arrangements and stuff, so he did not even land until it was the time that we had set the show. So we had to cancel. But tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific time, Sugar Hill Stewart will be joining us, and we'll talk with him, and it's going to be a good one. So make sure you guys don't miss it, all right? Guys, enjoy the fights this weekend. I'm going to enjoy the fights tonight. You hardcore fans out there. And again, purchase a fight, call some friends up, call some family, and enjoy yourselves, guys. All right. I'm taking Crawford by unanimous decision. I've been saying it for at least 5 years now that he would win. So that's what I'm rolling with, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.